welcome and hello to everyone, and thanks for being here. This is part of the alumni program. Since I think that you know, or maybe you might know, that we are organizing these alumni cafes since we've been organizing them since last September. It's a new initiative that the idea was raised by the Alumni Council, and the Alumni Council is the body that governs the alumni policy at eBay. It's made up by different people. There are like persons and people who are like members of the staff of eBay, and also there's a group of people, of graduates, who participate and try to foster initiatives such the alumni cafes. Okay, today we have Xavier Palacios. As you know, his professional experience focus on political risk. So I'll give the floor to Xavier because we'd like to hear from him his experience. So go ahead, and thank you very much for being here. Just to let you know that all the mics and the camera are now inhabilitated, and once he finishes the presentation, I will give you the permissions to talk if you want and to like start a conversation. So thank you very much, and go ahead, please.
Hi, Berta. Thank you very much for inviting me for this Alumni Cafe talk. And yeah, thank you for considering me for this brief chat to talk about my experience as an analyst, as a student, and yeah, I'll be happy to share my short experience if it can help, and also answer some questions if there is floor. I'm not sure about that, but or also email or any way of contacting me. I'll be happy to give also private, let's say, ideas or guidance or tips, mainly tips, because it's not easy. So yeah, I'm gonna present myself. I'm Xavier Palacios. I'm currently working as a political risk analyst freelance. I'm based in Nicosia, Cyprus. For several reasons, I came here mainly to engage with the region, because I specialize in a way in this part of the world. I have published in several journals, online portals about this region, with a special focus on Turkey, which is my country of specialization, where I get to meet this country thanks to eBay. Like after completing my master's in 2013, I'm from the course 2012-2013. Thanks to eBay, thanks to Professor Eduard, now I can't remember, Eduard Soulin. He put me in contact with another professor in Istanbul, in a university that now is closed actually because of political reasons. And yeah, I was very lucky to have my first professional experience there. It was an internship first as an Erasmus class student there, and I had the chance to live for almost 2 years in Istanbul, which is an amazing place, an amazing city, and to discover a whole world of politics, of history. I also studied the language, the Turkish language, and I still study the Turkish language. So that was my first experience as a beginning of my professional career. And then after having lived in Istanbul in Turkey, I moved to London to complete a second master's at the School of Oriental and African Studies at SOAS, University of London, where I completed a master's, an MSc on Middle East politics. And right after that, I got accepted at a consultancy firm, political risk analysis firm, based in Scotland, in St Andrews, where I fully started working as a full-time analyst, and that experience has been very important for developing my own professional career, and I discovered again a whole different world that wasn't known to me, which was the political risk analysis. Because before that experience, when I was in Istanbul, I started thinking about ideas, thinking about how to put in place all the knowledge I was acquiring there. Because it was at that time, 2014, when I went to Istanbul, Turkey, it wasn't that present in the Spanish media. First of all, international media was present, but not that present. And I started discovering new concepts, new political ideas, new ideologies, nationalism, and political narratives, all this very fashionable concept of political narrative, which in Turkey was very strong. Now is getting the official political narrative is getting weaker. And with all these new ideas, I started writing, for example, for a small portal in Spain, and I published about the Kurdish issue and the elections. I published in Catalan magazine called Events about Erdogan's first victory as a president for the presidential elections. Anyway, so with this, let's say, inner passion or inner motivation of writing about political developments, then I had the chance to be paid as a professional for political analysis. This case was when I moved to Scotland for this consultancy firm. Then I discovered a whole new world, which was the political risk analysis, which has nothing or very few to do with the analysis you read on mainstream media. The political risk analysis is a very narrowed industry, mainly based in the US, in the UK. There are some in France, Germany, but it's mainly in the Anglo-Saxon world, this industry. And it's mainly the main focus, the main idea we had to keep in mind while working when I was in Scotland was the understanding of the so-called informal governance and the informal linkages between political elite and the business elite in frontier markets. Initially, that was our scope. So this firm was focusing mainly on Latin America, Africa, Middle East, Southeast Europe, and East Asia. So I was in charge of, it was a small firm, and I was monitoring and following and writing on Southeast Europe, which comprised former Yugoslavia countries, Bulgaria, Romania, and Turkey. And I was also jumping into other countries of the area, such as Cyprus, northern Iraq. We did some work on Syria and Greece. But yeah, the main idea, the main concept to develop in that moment was this thing of informal governance and informal linkages between the business elite and the political elite, which was something very new to me. And it's something that makes you understand much better a country as a political analyst, because as I was telling you before, now when I was in Turkey, I was getting all this information, all these new concepts, mainly about the Turkish identity, the official political narrative I was mentioning before, and all these concepts are in the surface, but under this surface there are many new concepts which I learned in this firm, and that I keep working on them, and which have been very helpful to further develop my career as a freelance analyst. And it makes you understand much better the power dynamics, how governments can work or cannot, the levels of transparency, and at the end the malfunction of the state in some parts of the world, and how corruption mechanisms can work. How do they work? Each country has its own features. It can be according to geographical roots, talking about sharing routes of, let's say, city or areas or region. It can be religious, it can be social class, it can be ideology. So it's very interesting. And yes, I told you I was mainly focusing on Turkey because Turkey is also a big market for investors. So it's an important country, and it gives you a lot of chances to work on this country. And after that experience, I decided to go freelance because I thought there were so many very interesting concepts to develop and to be published. That I thought it was going to be a very interesting way to keep working as an analyst. And since then, I've been working as a freelance analyst, publishing in different platforms. At the beginning in Spanish, mainly in Política Exterior. Then I've been publishing in English for other platforms, and now I have recently joined a political risk analysis group, which is it's called Gulf State Analytics, and through them I have published in other platforms, mainly in English. And this one is more oriented towards geopolitics, which is also a big part of political risk, and it's taking more and more presence in media, and but also in the decision-making process of private investors, companies, etc., etc. So that's why in part I came here to Cyprus, because it's a hot part of the world. The Eastern Mediterranean nowadays is very unstable, as the whole region, as the whole Middle East. But it was also easier for me to come here because it's a European Union country. So as a freelancer, it's much easier to get all the bureaucratic issues you have to deal with. And yeah, so that's what brought me here, in part also to keep working on my Turkish language skills, and also to engage with new firms. So I work, as I was telling you, all this work I did in Scotland for this company. Now I carry out for other firms I have signed new contracts with, mainly through network. Network is very important, but also through other platforms I have engaged with other companies, such as mainly LinkedIn is very helpful. Twitter can be helpful, but mainly LinkedIn is very helpful to reach out to new clients, let's say new companies. And yeah, that's my main work here in Cyprus.